Oh. What's up, Billy? It's time for the Sorta podcast. What you good, Eric? You dying?
The lights aren't on. The lights aren't on.
Well, whose job was that?
It was Eric's.
Yeah. Wow, you're fired.
I nominate Eric as of now. See, we have to manually turn off lights, Billy. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Funny enough, Eric did a good job at buying an automatic thing, which turns on most of our lights.
Everything else works besides these damn lights on that switch.
It's just the one.
I say we just keep those lights on then. Screw it.
You'd have to plug them in differently.
Yeah.
Yeah. One day. So Xbox is dying.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
How so?
So I don't know if it's like necessarily dying, but obviously you guys have heard a few months ago Phil Spencer was on like an interview and he came out and said that
not doing good.
That they're last. He's like he admitted that they lost the most important generation, which was the generation where everybody was getting their online accounts set up because everything carried over, right?
Yep.
And so it's that has come out, but I don't know. Have you noticed that there has been a pretty large uptick in not PlayStation exclusives, but just PS5 PC games?
Yeah.
Like third party, not made by PlayStation, they're just not putting their games on Xbox. So basically Phil Spencer came out and was like, why are devs not putting their games on Xbox? And they pretty much all said the Xbox Series S. The Xbox Series S is so underpowered, and Xbox requires devs that if you make a game to work for Series X, it has to work for Series S. And the Series S is so underpowered that these devs literally can't get their games to run.
Yeah, no, I don't blame them. Like, I mean, if it's, that's more money, more manpower, more everything that you have to throw at something that like doesn't matter to begin with. Mm-hmm. Screw it. Who cares?
That's it. Wow, I never considered that. But yeah, if you're limiting your games to it has to be cross-platform, or it has to be cross-generation, I guess.
More or less. Well, no, because that Series S was part of the same generation. I mean, what's sad about it is that they were praised for the Series S. Like the Series S was a very like consumer friendly move, and it completely fucked them.
Yeah, I remember the Series S is like the first one.
It was $299.
I got.
Yeah, we have one. We have an X and then we have an S because the S it still ran all of the older games at the time at 60 FPS.
I still use it.
And it was like, oh, we can run Fortnite at 60 on this. Oh, we can run Destiny at 60 on this. Oh, cool. All right, cool, worth it.
So basically, Xbox in a way is kind of holding themselves back right now with their consumer edition.
And I mean,
now they have to come out with a new Xbox. Basically.
No, wholeheartedly, dude. With the PS5 Pro coming out, I think that Xbox is going to try and beat PlayStation, and I think they're going to try and get the new Xbox out a year before the PS6.
I mean, it mildly worked with the 360, right? Like it came out like 6 months before the PS3.
And they were ahead for most of the generation.
I mean,
the PS3 eventually won.
Because, I mean, the thing is, the reason why PlayStation always wins is Japan and Europe. And it's one of those things that, like, Xbox 360, to my recollection, actually still won America in that console.
In America, it was real close. If I'm not mistaken, PlayStation only outbeat the Xbox in terms of sales by, I think it was like 3 million, 2 million.
But, I mean, that's because, one, like, Xbox sells fuck all in Japan, like at all. Like, there's probably 100 Xbox Series X's in Japan at right now. Because it's an American company. Like they have Sony there. Like why? And mobile's huge there as well. So it's like, but it's also like Europe. Like, I mean, Europeans are so used to buying PlayStation, especially FIFA and all that's kind of like, very synonymous with each other in Europe. And so there's not a whole lot of reason to change. Yeah, like Xbox has no exclusives.
So, I mean, well, that's the.
Go ahead.
Well, that's the thing with exclusives. The 360, when it launched, it had exclusives because I had a 360. BioShock release was an exclusive. Eventually came to PS3. Mass Effect 1 was exclusive. Went to PS3. Dead Rising was exclusive. Went to PS3.
No, that's the thing too, though. Like, a lot of those games didn't, like Skyrim ran like crap on the PS3 at first. Yeah. Like a lot of people couldn't even play Skyrim on the PS3. And so everybody got the 360 to play Skyrim.
And then the Red Rings of Death came.
And then that happened.
Bro, you ever fit? All right. So I allegedly, even though I feel like the statute of limitations on this would be there, I found out that there was a way that you could essentially overheat the Xbox 360 when it had a Ring of Death, which would cause it to work again for about 45 minutes to an hour.
Is that the wrapping it in the towel?
No, you could do the towel. The other option, you pull off, you cut the tip off the Q-tip and you stick a Q-tip in the fan so that the fans don't spin. And
So
I had a friend that threw out their 360 because it had red ranked and it wasn't repairable. It was like a launch version. And I grabbed it. I was like, dude, let's try. I tried it. It worked. I brought it to a GameStop and sold it for $50.
Nice.
All right.
Nice. So you know what else just came out that literally reminded me of this whole conversation of generation
Diablo
Xboxes?
4?
No. Unreal Engine 5.5. The preview just released a couple days ago. It is gorgeous.
Oh, I'm sure.
If you haven't I don't want to bring it up. But
Unreal is going to be.
They're literally like they go into the whole shadows. They're like they literally go into each layer. Like let's turn this on. Let's turn this on. And they start going with the shadows and everything. You're like, bro, there's no way Xbox like the Series S is going to be even going to be able to run this.
No.
Like,
I mean, the Unreal Engine in general, I think, is going to become the standard because, funny enough, like you mentioning Unreal, so they had a big press conference about Halo. 343 Studios.
It's like Halo Studios now.
It's not.
What?
Yep, they killed off the 343 name. It is Halo Studios.
You can't tell me that was kind of strictly from the idea of a PR thing, where like you go look for 343 and it's like, oh yeah, they're the ones that made the bad Halo games. And now it just says Halo Studios, and it's like, oh, well, maybe these will be good.
So they did
name
that.
is literally Halo.
Yeah, Halo Studios. And so what I found out, which I didn't know, is that 343 apparently for years, pretty much since they've been running Halo, has been running their own custom game engine called like Split something. So the problem there is that one, anytime you hire a new game dev, you have to teach them how to use the engine. So they are now switching to Unreal Engine 5. They showed off Halo and Unreal Engine 5, and they were saying that that's going to now open up because now they can get talent from all across the industry, and anybody that is familiar with Unreal Engine will be able to utilize it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. It's why, dude.
That's wild.
We're going into
I didn't
such
know
a
Halo's
weird,
going to Unreal Engine now. That's interesting.
I feel like we're going to see a massive explosion in tech because like it feels like the last, I don't know if it's 10 years, maybe the last 8 years. It feels like there's been like this weird stagnation and like people weren't sure where to go, both in like streaming and games and like everything across the board. And I feel like then COVID happened and I feel like that stunted it even further. And now it feels like we're doing that because like AI, even like, I don't know if you've seen some of the AI shit that they're doing where they have gotten AI where it can basically take games and don't get me wrong, it looks janky as fuck.
Oh,
but
they can
like,
write the levels and stuff?
No, it instantaneously basically can like change a game to pretty much make the graphics look real. Like they were testing it with like Half-Life where like it would change the characters from their like polygonal fucking old PC game looking thing to like it looks like a person. And then he walks around and it's like,
yeah,
it's
Will
all
Smith
janky.
eating spaghetti. It's
and they need to find out how to like make it run in real time. But like if they can find a way to make it run in real time and combine that with Unreal Engine 5, like we're gonna see a real boost in games. I think.
Speaking on that, and sticking with gaming news real quick, did you see where Avatar is getting a AAA release?
Yes,
finally
they're investing.
Finally.
I forget what the number was.
Saber Interactive's doing it.
Saber?
Saber, the people who made Space Marines 2.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. They're making a AAA Avatar game.
Yeah.
Bro.
Like full, I think they said it's going to be like open world RPG.
It's an open world RPG. You're not playing as Aang. You are playing as like someone in that world, I think.
I am not opposed to that at all.
Yeah.
I think they said that it's like the most ambitious project they've ever done or something like that. Like it's apparently they're taking it serious, which they should.
Finally.
Yeah, because fucking Fortnite showed everybody up. It's like, this is how you make an Avatar game.
Dude, a special limited time release has been the best Avatar game of all time.
And it's gone forever.
And almost Marvel game
Maybe
of
not
all
forever.
time.
Well, not forever, but you can't
They
play
wanted
it
to
now.
add it as like a separate mode.
I feel like Fortnite should have.
They wanted to do that with all of the
even if
special
it's not,
modes.
Like, even if it's not multiplayer and it's just a single player, like, hey, you can just go run around on this original map and play around with the stuff. Maybe invite your friends in a custom game.
Well, there's probably maps that people probably have made creative maps that you can do that.
with the Avatar stuff, though.
Yeah.
Really? Is it still available?
Once
I
you
don't-
add something
dude,
to the
there
game,
was
they
custom
keep
lobbies
it in
for
the
that.
backlog for you to use in creative mode.
I did not know that.
Interesting.
Okay, so that's sick. So there actually might be some Avatar games on Fortnite.
yeah.
Yeah, there are. There were.
Oh.
Like there was a whole like quest line thing you had to do when it was active.
Well, no, she's talking about like custom
The
like,
assets.
fan made
The assets
games.
still being
Like
available.
the creative mode.
The creative mode where people remember when we were
yeah.
playing in the Simpsons house and shooting each other?
Yeah.
Like that, but with Avatar stuff. Or like remember when we loaded into that like live action One Piece thing where they built the boats and shit?
Yeah.
Like things like that, but with Avatar.
There's some crazy creative maps. And they're not really my thing because they're not like shooty bang bang. Like I just love like just killing people in video games. I don't really
Damn.
care for creative modes. But there's some really extensive like creative maps where it's just a completely different game.
I'm not surprised. I mean, dude, people get wild. Like I remember like and same thing, like I feel like this era went away. Like Little Big Planet was huge. And like
Yeah.
most people weren't building stuff, but like, bro, people found ways to make like first person shooters in Little Big Planet too. It was fucking crazy. Like,
Well, I
can
remember
find
when
it.
Fall Guys came out, and I believe we were on Mixer at the time, and I just kept saying this game is good, but it would be great if it had the ability to create your own courses.
Well, yeah, because
Like-
they didn't have any more courses back
No,
then.
no. I was
Now they have
like,
a lot.
They
Have you
are,
played the game since then?
Yeah,
It is
yeah,
insane.
but too little, too late, like too
Yeah.
late.
Yeah. Oh,
They did
Stumble
it
guys,
too
beat 'em,
late.
baby.
They added the ability to create your own courses way too late in the game that it didn't matter anymore. I mean, when their hype was big is when they should have added that as a feature. Because at the same time was when Mario Maker was big too. Like people were loving games that they could create their own shit.
Like this is made in Little Big
What?
Planet. And this was 10 years ago. Like and like obviously you guys know what Little Big Planet is.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
yeah.
what?
That's
How?
crazy.
Like how? In something like and like of course it's janky. I mean it was well, you know, fucking 10 years ago. But like people somehow made this in this adorable little like side
Yeah.
scroller game. And then like what was it? Dreams came out.
Yeah.
And the shit people make in Dreams is crazy.
It's a shame too because I have heard nothing else about Dreams ever since it came
Yeah.
out.
Like creating my own Avatar game in Dreams.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
wow.
But like the problem with Dreams is that Dreams wasn't really like Little Big Planet where it had like a legitimate game.
Yeah, it was like this the
It
whole
was
time.
only like go make shit. And the problem is most people don't want to do that. So of course it didn't sell well.
Yeah.
And, you know,
you
we'll
got people
see.
like me that's like, bro, I just don't have the time to like
no.
go
Yeah.
into this.
But this was made on a PlayStation 5 game.
2,000 hours of development.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I can only
is
imagine.
Crazy, bro.
Dude, people went hard.
Dude, it takes like 5,000 hours to master a language. Mm-hmm. That man's almost spent half the time mastering the world of
Like,
Avatar.
I guarantee
That is wild. That is wild.
that like if you enter it, it's probably been made in Dreams. Apparently, except for Sonic. No. Oh God. No, whatever. The point is, it's like it's. I feel like they've gotten away from that because like they lean too hard. Like even Mario Maker. Mario Maker was huge, and then I feel like Mario Maker 2 came out and nobody really cared.
I mean, like
think
it still
people-
has like a pretty healthy community. I mean, it still does
If
because
you
like
look at his numbers on Twitch, I think it still has like a pretty
yeah. Well, you
decent
have like a very
audience.
specific streamer that's like
Yeah.
the main thing he streams.
or like even on YouTube. I think it still has like, you know, that dedicated audience.
I think we like undersell how like hardcore Nintendo's audience is sometimes.
Well, people also just love speed runs and they love Mario
Yeah.
speed runs. And when you get to create,
Well, they love the what's the very specific hard like levels in Super Mario Maker.
Yeah, so it has dipped quite a bit.
Yeah.
it's also noon.
Well, I mean, I
True.
I never get his name right, but I follow his name is like
the first one's not even there.
like Orator or something like that is his name, and he's like probably the top Super Mario Maker like streamer, and like he still gets like 2,500 viewers a night, like just playing Super Mario Maker 2.
Damn, the poor Magic the Gathering official channel.
Damn,
Whopping
33
33
viewers.
viewers.
feels bad.
Yeah, take that, nerds.
Fucking Magic.
Lame. Or maybe not. I don't know. I've never played Magic.
Magic is fun. I miss my boy that they nerfed. Basically, they put a card in that y'all don't know anything. But anyways, they basically put a card in the game. Players found a mechanic that created an infinite loop. So you just ramped from you went from having, because every turn you gain 1 mana, right? So first turn you have 1, next turn you have 2, right? Mm-hmm. And you have to place it down. Well, there was a card that they added in the game that allowed you to do something with a certain goose, and it basically broke certain mechanics of the game and made it like turn 3, you're just killing people consistently and just taking full control of the board, if not. And then they're just like, nah, nerf it. Just remove it all the way from the game. So they literally just straight up just took a card that was like really expensive and just like removed it from the entire game. No one can use it in tournaments. You can't use it in the games.
I kind of low-key hate that about card games where it's like, oh, this card we made and sold, you can't use it anymore.
Yeah.
You know, even though we made it,
well,
we should have done the math and science behind it for the rules of the game that we made, but we're not going to do it anymore. So
technically you can still use it, but you can't use it in like... there's a certain term, but it's basically like there's an unregulated play style, like card set you can use, and a like in the format set, which is like all the new like things that they're cycling in and out.
No, it's stupid.
Have you guys seen this? What? So they've been doing crazy collabs for Magic recently. So
there's a Fallout card set.
There's Doctor Who. There's Fallout. There is Assassin's Creed.
And those are Commanders too?
Warhammer's new.
Okay, all right. I know where I'm spending some money.
There's Final Fantasy 16.
There
is Stranger Things they're doing. They're working apparently, I guess, on
Street Fighter?
Street Fighter. Yeah, no, they are going hard on like these crossover things. And apparently, like pretty much, yeah, like the cards can be used. I think there's a Ghostbusters one.
The Stranger Things looks like she's an angry chipmunk.
Yeah, right. And I guess like they're just making it where these are playable cards, and I'm like, and you know, obviously they did the Lord of the Rings a while back, but I think what it was is the Lord of the Rings did so well that they.
I mean, it's Lord of the Rings, right?
But like, no, they've done like a ton just in like the past, I don't know, year or two.
I wonder what's in regulation for. I mean, if that's in regulation right now, I might be playing some MTG Arena soon. Ooh wee!
You have fun with that, sir.
Yeah.
I'd be down
I
to
wish
learn.
you luck.
You have fun with that,
See,
sir.
the nice thing is when you play on the computer, it does all the telling of what you need to do and all this.
What's the point of playing a card game if I can't collect the cards?
I mean, on Monopoly Go, you can collect the cards.
It does all the work
No,
for
you
me.
can't. It's not physical. It's different. If that app goes down,
I have a lot of cards.
all the stuff you have is gone forever.
Monopoly Go.
Monopoly Go. So on a side note,
no. Actually, you know what, Bree? Tell them about your Monopoly Go obsession. You know what? No, we need to address
No, I mean
this.
she's got a whole fucking notebook.
No.
You were just calling.
You have no fucking idea.
Right now.
You think the notebook is?
No, I can't talk about it or they'll find me.
They're not going to find you.
You think anybody from Monopoly Go watches this podcast?
So allegedly, Bree may or may not have downloaded BlueStacks on the PC
Oh, Lord.
so that she can play it on PC because she has found some weird speed up hacking bullshit that like has allowed her to play differently. So she plays on her phone, but then also plays on the PC.
No. Let me talk about it. You're getting it all.
So
wrong.
you know what I enjoy
You're getting
is
it all
like science wise, we were supposed to have flying cars by now, but this is what civilization
Monopoly
has become.
So me and Monopoly Go way back, right? I started playing.
Why do you sound like it's an abusive
I
relationship?
started playing it
is
when
an
close
abusive
to around
relationship.
its release date. He used to play it too.
I did.
He fell off of it, but I kept playing it, and then all of my family started playing it. So then we have like a group chat, and that's how we like trade cards and stuff. Well, my dad and I.
Wait, is the group chat specifically for Monopoly Go?
Yeah.
That's okay.
No, she is.
We don't have another family
So
group chat.
what happened is you have an addiction, and your family
I
enabled
wouldn't call
that
it
addiction.
an addiction.
Yeah, she took the heroin and handed it over. Here you go.
And now y'all have a
Take
group
hit.
chat where you guys share it.
So my dad and I, back when I was in high school,
I mean,
was
it's
when
awesome that you guys are bonding that way.
Candy
That's cool.
Crush
That's really
was
cool.
big.
No, it's not.
My dad and I used to play Candy Crush like crazy. And on Candy Crush, I think you only had like 6 lives and you could only lose 6 times and then you had to wait for your lives to replenish. Well, my dad and I figured out that a hack was that you just time skip on your phone, set it forward 24 hours, then your lives would refill, and then you just set it back and the lives wouldn't go away. So we basically had an unlimited life hack. So we just hacked Candy Crush, never ran out of lives, played it like crazy. So
That
my
just
dad
seems
and
like
I,
that takes a lot of time.
no, it's super quick. Super quick.
Is it though?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That-
So anyway, my dad
okay,
and I
go
just have
ahead.
this mutual respect for like
Cheating.
cheating in mobile games, but it's okay because mobile games literally are just out to get your money. Like,
I mean, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not. That's not where my judgment is coming
we got to
from.
stick it to the man, you know?
Yeah,
like,
no, I don't judge
fuck
that
Mr.
part of it.
Monopoly, you know?
The playing in general is the part I'm judging.
Yeah, Monopoly Go, please
So,
sponsor us.
Anyway, maybe I shouldn't talk about this.
No,
Though.
it doesn't
it.
matter. No, it doesn't matter.
I want to know now.
I want to know. I'm committed
Anyway.
to
It's
this story
like
now.
it's like one of those YouTube documentaries where it's like, I got some time to kill. I'll watch this thing about 20th century underwear.
The Monopoly Go. You know what?
let me get comfy for this.
Yeah.
Like,
You do
Yeah.
that,
So-
and I'm gonna find out if there's a Monopoly Go iceberg.
So my dad, we were just playing the game like you normally do, and basically the concept of the game is you just roll the dice and then you go around the board, and then like every time you land on a railroad, like online play, you can take people's landmarks out or steal from their bank, do a bank heist, and then
So, like,
along the
real
way,
estate.
you collect like sticker cards.
the top one.
Yeah, okay,
Airplane.
we'll get there.
Oh my god.
Anyway.
Wow, we have never looked up anything Monopoly Go wise on
And
the
literally
channel.
the top one, airplane mode glitch, and then the second
They're
one is hack.
listening. They hear you, Bree.
Yeah,
You're in
so
danger.
You collect these cards along the way, which go into albums, and then when you finish all of your albums, it's true. Like
Their evil
they
strategy to
are the
make you
number
poor.
one game app on
I
the
mean,
market.
it's called
for paid.
It's Monopoly.
Everybody knows Monopoly,
The
right?
whole point of Monopoly is fucking you over business wise. Like,
yeah,
it's not
true.
surprising that their business model is evil when the game is Monopoly.
But it's a super successful mobile game. Like a bunch of people play it, a bunch of people drain money into it. We have both spent money on this game.
It's fun. It's like every mobile game. It's you can ride it out for free for weeks. You know, and really enjoy it, play it, have fun, and then just like every mobile game, it gets to that point where you basically it slows down to a screeching halt, and it's like spend money or barely get to play.
You can only hold dice that replenish. You can only have like up to 100 dice that replenish. So once it replenishes,
on
I
the
just out of
podcast?
habit, I just clicked the button, and then I realized what I did and moved it over.
it replenishes to 100, and then it doesn't go anything past that. But you
an
can earn
addiction.
dice past that. So right now I have probably 48,000 dice. I used to have like 162,000 dice, and then I started just kind of not giving a shit. And I'll tell you why. So anyways, I on Facebook was in the Monopoly Go trading group because you can trade cards between people to fill up your albums. And then when you finish albums, you get dice and all that fun stuff. And I kept seeing people talk about APM. And I was like, what the fuck is this APM?
attacks per minute.
Airplane mode.
Oh,
Wait, whoa. What did you say?
attacks per minute.
Oh, okay.
Close.
APM. It's okay. My bad for freaking ARPG.
What would
okay?
that be? TPM, tax per minute?
Attacks per minute.
I feel like usually you would go.
Attacks. If you're attacking,
Oh, a tax. I thought you said a tax.
APM.
We're talking about Monopoly. Talking about taxes isn't that far fetched.
You guys are just killing it today. I
Okay,
just
so
wanna throw that
anyways,
out
I'll
there.
tell you
Thank
my journey in the APM world. So originally APM worked, this is when it first got started to be figured out, was that you would turn airplane mode on your phone, and you would have a certain amount of rolls that you could track before the game would realize that you're not connected to the internet, and it would kick you out of the game. So you could get like 10 to 15 rolls that you could write down, doing like the times 100 multiplier.
Is that
on
your
the
giant
dice.
notebook that you had
Yes.
for this?
Yeah, and I wish I had
I'm
it
not
with
kidding.
me.
She has.
I wish I had it with
She had a
me.
notebook that was like 2 inches thick, and I would like randomly see
Just
her
for
on the
Monopoly,
stairs
yeah.
just writing. I'm like, "What are you doing?" And she was like, "Oh, this is like my Monopoly Go notebook." And it's like, damn,
I had a whole notebook
what?
dedicated to this. So you would track your rolls like doing times 100 multiplier, which is the highest multiplier. And you would count the rolls out as you go along the board. If it wasn't a good roll, you would just do times 1. So basically you only do 100 when you know it's going to land on something you want. And then you just check it off along the way, get all their dice out of the way, do APM mode again, yada, yada, yada. Pretty easy, pretty self-explanatory. So then Monopoly Go cracks down and they change the connection time of the game to connect quicker so that it could kick you out of APM after like 4 to 5 rolls instead of 15 to 20.
Sure.
So that was a little bit of an obstacle, kind of pissed off a lot of people, but whatever. It still worked. There was also the way that you could do 2 devices. So I did get an iPad. When I got my new phone, I did also get an iPad, which worked.
Did you get the iPad specifically for Monopoly Go?
That's the only thing I really used it for, yeah. But so then when APM ran out on one account, I would roll the dice on the APM and then just do it in real time on the iPad instead of having to write it down. And then when that got kicked out of APM, well, I'll just put on APM on the iPad, load it up on the other one, and then it was just quicker that way.
This sounds...
So
Y'all
then-
talk
so
crap
stressful.
to me about my Path of Exile.
Don't
addiction.
y'all. I don't do this.
So
All right?
then,
Y'all
Stop.
talk crap to
I
me about
don't
my
do
Path of
this.
Exile addiction. It ain't even that bad.
Okay,
I don't do this.
Before you continue, why?
because it's fun.
It does.
And because I wasn't running out of
Because
dice.
it sounds like you're just putting
because
the heroin on a
before I was
spoon.
spending money on the game.
So
No, I don't get it either.
Is the
Like-
You
fun,
spent money too.
No, I did. No, I did at the time, but like I feel like there was a difference.
Is the fun not spending money?
The fun is not spending money, but collecting the cards and building up your decks, and then just
For
they
what
have
purpose?
they have a
Do your
bunch of
decks
events.
battle?
They have
Can you
like
battle
partner
people?
events. They have like all these events that
Yeah,
they
but
put on too.
what's the purpose of these cards and events outside, like to just have?
you get new pieces. I
You get new
guess.
Do
pieces,
you
you
battle
get
with
new
them at
dice.
all or anything?
Well,
or
you get
just
to like
collect
attack
them?
other people and stuff like
Like,
that. But it's more so like the amount of rewards that they give is like kind of a lot. Like they have a bunch of different type of rewards that you get as you keep going, and so
Yeah,
it's that
no,
like
it is
that like you
literally-
open a gift box and it's that like serotonin release, you know, like when you
It is
win
literally
something.
dopamine the game, and that's why I've been so confused by what she does, because I feel like the fact that she knows which spin will do what, so she only
It feels
spins
like
on
you're
the
taking
good
that
spin.
away, right?
Yeah, and that's why I haven't been able to
Like
understand.
you're taking away the gambling aspect of the game, which is the high you get from the game.
Even when she was like hacking it to get more dice, I was like, okay, I get that. Like
That's more spins.
Like you're getting the dice so that you don't have to spend the money on the dice.
Like
and
that makes sense.
like
but
that, get it. But like she has taken the dopamine rush out of the game, and I don't understand.
So let me continue. So then Scopely, who owns Monopoly, they also own a lot of other mobile games. Probably the highest performing mobile games are all owned by Scopely. They realized, okay, well, we'll just completely, in the US only, APM does not work anymore. Like as soon as you turn on APM mode in the United States, it pretty much immediately kicks you out. You might get one roll done, but that's pretty much it. So then VPN. So then I downloaded a VPN
you
on
have
my
VPN on your personal device.
iPad that I
And-
only
and
use for Monopoly.
So and you got this VPN specifically for Monopoly
Yes.
Go.
How much are you
Okay,
paying a
It's
month
free.
for the VPN?
that's
Free.
my question.
free. It's free.
That's not free.
It is free.
How
No,
do
it
you
is
have
free.
How do you have?
So
free
you quick
VPN?
connect. So you can't choose where you're connecting to. But
there are some free VPNs.
Okay.
Like they're not the best ones, but I mean
90
she's
out of
not-
100, like 90% of the time, it would connect me to somewhere out of the US.
Yeah, I mean she's not trying to pirate shit, right? So like I
Yeah.
don't think she needs a
I'm
specific
just trying to connect
advanced
to
one.
somewhere outside of the United
This
States.
episode's sponsored by NordVPN. If you want to cheat at your mobile game,
I wish.
So
I use that shit all the time.
So then, as soon as I connected to a VPN, everything worked like it did before. Yada yada yada. Well, then,
This is like when I used to when I allegedly used to hack Diablo 2 and like let bots play the game for me, and I just come in and be like, "Hey, it's Christmas! And look at all the items I have."
Kinda in a
Similar.
weird way.
Instead,
yeah.
you're putting in
Similar.
all
God,
the work.
y'all are like
you're putting in all the work.
y'all's fun sounds like it's just taking the fun out of the game.
it's just because you're old. You just don't get it. Okay. Anyway.
No, I don't. That's why I'm asking questions.
So then I realized everyone's talking about an app. The people in that group came up with this APM app, which basically on iOS, I have an iPhone, you can go into developer mode on your phone and you can download a developer app, which basically was a clone of Monopoly Go.
I want to make it clear too. I didn't know the rabbit hole went this deep. I thought she was just playing on her on the computer because the computer was faster. That was that was my impression prior to this conversation.
At what point do you have like a corkboard at your house with yarn going to like?
No,
bro, she's one step
this
away.
all sounds like a lot, but it really isn't because
No, it is a lot.
No,
dude, she plays it all.
We're
No, I
on
don't.
the
No, I
outside,
don't.
and
So-
we're looking in.
so and
Like,
no,
I
Crazy.
love
No,
ARPGs.
This is crazy.
That's a lot. Breed.
No,
you are doing
this,
a lot.
This is a lot.
I play mobile games more than any other.
No,
game.
you
She
play
does.
Monopoly
She
Go.
does.
This is like an
No,
AirPod.
no, no, no. I have a couple
she
mobile games I
plays a stupid amount of mobile games.
I
This
play
is
a
like
couple
us
of them.
listening to an airline pilot going through their checklist and they're being like, yeah, it's not a big deal. Yeah, because you're fucking used to it.
Yeah.
But to us, it sounds like gibberish.
Yeah, it's mind
Well,
blowing.
okay, all
going,
those
keep
things
going.
I was doing took a lot of time. Like that shit would take like hours to mark
so
your
all
shit
this,
out.
So all the stuff you mentioned is stuff you're not doing anymore.
No.
Okay.
That was like the long
This
version
is
of
this
it all.
is your whole
So
process.
this
that you're
was
learning?
her Monopoly Go journey.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I'm
God.
telling you, this
Okay.
is where I got to where I'm at now, which now is the least amount of time I've spent on this game since before. And that's why it's a lot better now. So then there was this APM app, which basically cloned the real app. So you could just mark all your moves on this other app and then switch to the other app, the main app. And then you wouldn't have to worry about APM closing on you or anything like that. You could basically mark up to like 100 rolls if you wanted to, and then just go on the other app and use it.
Okay.
Which there's also something called high roller mode in Monopoly that they only give you for like a certain amount of time. So like you unlock it, it's like only for 5 minutes, where you can roll up to 1,000 dice instead of 100.
Okay.
So you want to time it right that you hit the high roller, but you already have your high roller marked out so that you don't waste any time, because you can really rack up your rewards if you are rolling on 1,000. So that's like a whole other thing. But anyways, so this APM
It's
app.
crazy how passionately you speak on this and literally nothing else in your life.
That's not true. I'll
You don't
talk
even
about.
talk
I have
about
another
Maeve like
story
this.
for in 10 minutes.
I haven't heard
Yeah.
a story about Maeve if we're like that that's this long enough.
Well, I haven't. You don't gotta cut me deep like that. I haven't seen her very much these last 5
Is
weeks.
it because of
while
Monopoly
I've been,
Go?
No, it's because I've been
Is it because of the
recovering from
rehab?
surgery. You asshole! I had to put my child in full-time daycare instead of staying home with her. You don't have to cut me deep like
you
that.
should see this kid when I drop her off at daycare. She has the most insane RBF in the morning that like it's a joke between the lady at the front desk, because I get her in and it's always the gamble of like, will Maeve say hi to her today? And it's always like, Maeve, you can say hi? And she's like,
She's mean.
she just looks angry.
Anyways,
No,
so back to what I was saying. I'm almost done. I'm almost to the end. I promise.
So let's move on from
So
the
then
kid.
I
need to
just-
talk about
I have
Monopoly.
another
she
big
said,
story.
Yeah, the kid's great.
I have another big story I want to talk about after this, but you guys got me started on Monopoly Go. So then,
this rabbit hole went this deep.
so then,
I have to pee so bad, but I need to hear the end of this.
You'll be able to hear from the bathroom.
it's almost done. So with the APM app, it came to the point where Scopely decided, well, you know what? We're going to actually change how the roles work. So instead of it being a certain, like it's completely mapped out. Yeah, go for it. It being completely mapped out, like your next role, they already know what your next role is in the game. It's not random. Like it's
not like random number generated.
exactly. It's like it's mapped out for you in the game, which is why you're able to map it out in person. Well, they changed it. So when you change your multiplier, it actually changes your next roll. So now that the APM didn't work anymore. So now you had to do it one by one. So now you had to roll, exit out of APM app, reload it, do your next roll, yada yada.
This sounds like a full-time job.
Forever. It would take forever. So that's when I went from 162,000 dice or something like that to like 30,000, which is where I'm at now, because I just stopped giving a shit enough to track it like that because I don't got the time. And then I started doing more research and I found that there's an Android app that is way better than the iOS app. And it's like, because you can do so much more shit with Android than you can with iOS, including PC stuff, BlueStacks, stuff like that. So I got a cheap Android phone.
And all the crap y'all let's talk about Android.
Well, no, I would never use this Android for anything other than this because it's so hard to use. I just don't understand any of it. So I was using the phone for a little bit, which kind of is the same premise, that you just clone the app, developer mode, whatever. Well, BlueStacks, I went on the BlueStacks app, and I'm not going to say the name of the app because I'm going to keep them. Nobody, Monopoly don't need to know. But what I can do on the BlueStacks app is basically, it is a clone of the game. You can enter sandbox mode. So you just enter a mode that doesn't take away any rewards or anything like that. And there's a website.
That you got an Android burner phone?
Yes.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then there's a website that has like the whole Monopoly board on it, so that when I roll on the sandbox mode, I just click on the map where my thing went, so I don't need to track my dice. It just does it for me. So then I'll have a whole list of all the dice rolls, and then I just roll it on the real Monopoly. I exit sandbox mode. Then I roll it on the real game, and also they allow me to do it at 5 times speed. So instead of just doing it at normal speed, which is slow as fuck, I get all of it done, all my rewards for the day, finish all the quest lines in like 20 minutes.
So
I'll do it during halftime on Saturdays just to
You do
kill
know like
halftime.
they have like games on the PC and on the phone that's like
Better.
much better than what you're
Easier.
what you're doing, because literally what you're doing is inventory management, and there's
Yeah.
games, I can't think what they're called, not clickers, they're like it's like
Jobs.
it's like cookie clicker, where it's just
I don't like
that.
stuff like that though. I don't know what it is.
That's
I think
literally
it's,
what you're doing,
well,
Bree.
no, I think it's part of the. No, it's not really the rewards that I like the most. It's like collecting the cards. Like I really like the collection part aspect of it.
Collectathon.
Yeah, and I like the events
Happy
that they do.
Toyotathon.
They do like partner events and stuff, where you have
Sly
to like
Cooper. There's collectibles in that.
where you have partners.
There's collectibles in most games.
But there's
A lot of
games like that.
Where you-
Mario.
There's so many games.
But listen-
More
there's
about you can
so
play
many
Mario.
other games.
But listen,
you
so-
don't have to spend your time having
So
a
there's partner-
VPN, an Android burner.
Well, no,
Like,
I don't do any of that
she
anymore.
doesn't do
I
that
only do the PC app. It literally takes me like
Yeah.
maybe 15 minutes a day now compared to I literally just it's a mobile game. That's what you're supposed to do is waste your days on it. But I don't even play it.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
That's not what that means.
No. There are much better.
Mobile means I'm sitting in McDonald's drive-thru
I'm gonna pull it out
and I'm
real
going
quick,
to pull my
play
phone
it.
out for 3
Cool.
minutes and play
I don't
this.
know what it is.
Women,
It's bite-sized
the
content.
largest player base for mobile games is women.
Yeah,
so
because
I don't
women-
really
'cause women
expect you
spend the
guys
most
to get
money.
it.
Because I've
That is a statistical
I have-
fact, by the
yeah,
way. He's
yeah,
not
yeah.
being
fuck up
sexist.
your sexist
No, that's
comments, Billy.
not a sexist comment. It is true.
No, because I have tried to get into some mobile games before, right? Especially
not a mobile gamer.
Especially because like having kids,
it's
unfortunately,
easy to play a
like,
game that you can easily
you-
just put down super
Yeah,
quick.
you can't like. I think that's why I watch so much TikTok on like when I'm home on the weekends, because I can't just put on a 20-30 minute YouTube video because I get interrupted 37 times and I'm constantly like having to rewind and re-listen, and I can't get into games because if I'm fucking pausing every 30 seconds, if it's an online game that you can pick up for 50 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't be interrupted. It was like that time when I logged on that one time for Helldivers and I joined you, and then I had to immediately put the controller down and stop playing.
Yeah.
In a story-based game, I can't focus if I'm constantly doing this. It's like I've tried to get into mobile games and like I'll have fun with them for a while. Like Like I played that
SpongeBob?
that solo leveling game for a while. I played that SpongeBob game for a while. I played Monopoly Go for a while. But like my problem is that I play the games, and just like every mobile game, I get to the point where you can't progress without spending money.
Yeah, and
at
it's like, I'm done.
And at that
Yep.
point, I'll be like, okay, I've put a lot of hours in this game. I'll spend a couple dollars. Like I'll put a little bit into this. Like I had fun. Like I don't mind putting $20 into a game that I've gotten 10, 15, 20 hours of enjoyment out. Like I don't mind.
Yeah,
like,
$1 an
sure.
hour. $1 to $2
Well,
an
I
hour.
always used to think about like how
And-
much money I've spent on like V-Bucks,
Yeah.
and I'm just like,
Don't ever compare it to another
Yeah.
game. Only compare it to the amount of hours you've
Yeah.
invested into that
well, that's
game.
my point. Is
See, I don't look at it that
some of these mobile
perspective,
games
but-
I've been playing for years.
Yeah, see, like I don't know how she does that. Like
No.
I get to a point where I'll spend some money, right? And then I'll buy a $20 pack. And or I'll start with like I'll buy a $1 pack, I'll buy a $5 pack, and then I'll eventually buy the $20 pack. So I'm like, oh, this comes with a bunch of shit. Like I'll get it. And then you do it, and then all of the shit that you just bought on that $20 pack is gone within 15 minutes. And then you're back to square one, and it's like, I'm done. And that's when I drop it because I'm like, I'm not going to spend $20 every time I open this fucking game. So like, I understand why she went through the point of hacking it because she likes the game.
And
but
I don't
like,
want to spend more money on it.
But like, I don't get it. Like, mobile games drive me nuts.
Well, also
but what's
my
weird
dad-
is like things like gotcha games and Fortnite. I don't mind.
Yeah.
I'll spend the money
It all
on
depends
that.
on your interests, right? Like, well, also the
I
games
don't
I
think
spent.
those games are as aggressive. Like they're not. It's not. Give me $30 to make this thing happen faster, right? Like Genshin will just be like, hey, you want this other character? I'm like, yeah, I do want that character.
That'd be cool.
But well, the other part of it is like my dad. He still does like the 2-device method I was talking about. But like, I don't know, it's just fun to like, I don't know, talk shit about this mobile game and just figure out how we can cheat on it to not give them our money. But then also another big part of like getting deeper into it than just the normal APM I was doing is I was on bed rest for like the last 5 weeks, which is when most of this stuff happened. And there is nothing, and this isn't something that they brought up. No, I'm being serious. This isn't something
I'm just thinking of something to myself.
that they brought up when they talked to me about my surgery is like post-surgery, like depression is like just like postpartum. Like you're just alone in bed. You can't move. Like you're on bed rest. Like you just basically lay and rot in bed all day because you're not supposed to do anything else. And you can only watch so much TV before it just gets mind numbing.
Hey,
and so
tell
you just
that's our
want to,
job.
well, you just want to get, well, you guys still get to get up and eat and leave
true,
for the
true,
day,
true.
you know? Like, and so it was just one of the things like I could dedicate all of that energy into something that I didn't have to get
Monopoly
out of
Go.
bed for.
Right.
So I did, but now I have like the most easiest, convenient way to just get it done for the day and not have to do it. But the other part of it is my family don't all do that because my grandma's, I don't even think she could figure it out. But they all don't do that stuff. So when I do like partner events and stuff with them, I just basically
You
do the
carry.
whole thing for them.
You help them.
And then they
Okay.
get all the rewards
Without
while they're
having
still
to spend
playing
the
the
money.
old
Okay,
mode or
that
the
makes
normal
sense.
mode. So my dad and I both do it for them so that we're two partners that they can rely on to get it all done. Like they have like racing things too where you race against other teams. And so we'll just partner up with our family and just
I mean, the
win
fact
the
that
whole
you got
thing
your
for
whole
them.
family addicted to it,
Wild, right?
it's wild.
Well, I don't think they're addicted. Well, grandma's retired. Well, she loves mobile games. Are you kidding me? That's like the best.
Oh God.
That's like the best audience for
my
those
grandma,
things.
when I was younger, being on her computer until 2 a.m. playing Pogo.
Well, that's what my dad says too. Is he's
Was it
retired,
Slingo
living in
for me?
Mexico.
No, it was some website with like a cactus. I think it was called Pogo.
Yeah, Pogo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like my mom or dad played games on that.
That was all she did. Like fucking the little things where you
Yeah.
like shoot the balls and
Yeah.
they'd pop and like the balloons and they'd pop.
Yeah, I played
Yeah.
that. The Olive Garden, I think, has that on their little tablet thing. Not as fun as it used to be. But yeah, I mean, it's
Because you
just.
can't hack Olive Garden to
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's true.
to pop more bubbles.
But no, that's I don't even play that on my phone anymore. I just play it on my PC, like when I have the time in the day, and a lot of times, like the tournaments go on for a couple days. So if I finish them on day one, I don't play it for like 2 or 3 days. So honestly, I pay it a lot less now than I used to. But like I play like a solitaire game that I've been playing for years. Like
The only mobile game I currently play is Sudoku.
I
Does that
haven't
count?
gotten there yet.
I
feel like that's
a game.
Yeah,
I mean,
but,
Sudoku
but
is
it's not
solitaire.
a mobile game. It's just a game that happens to be on mobile, right?
I mean, true, yeah.
it's like being like, yeah, I play mobile games. I play Final Fantasy VII on my phone. It's like,
Yeah.
is that the same? I don't think so.
I mean, eh.
It's different.
But that's the other part of it is with kids. It's like I need something quick that I can play for like a short amount of time and
Then if
able to
she's
just
eating
put down.
something she's not supposed
Well,
to,
that's
it's
like
fine.
a medium difficulty Sudoku puzzle takes me like 3 minutes.
I used to really like doing like crosswords, like crossword apps. Those were fun for a bit. But yeah, I got a lot more into them when I got pregnant. Cuz there was a lot of doing nothing all the time.
I just want to say that you've been talking about Monopoly for like 33 minutes. It's
Listen.
awesome. I've never seen
Monopoly Go.
I've
We go
never
from the 9/11
like the
episode to the
Brie
Monopoly Go
I've never.
episode.
No, I already know the title of this one. Confronting Bree's cheating.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
smart. Oh,
Wow. Now make
a
me
good
look
one.
like an asshole.
Hey, they'll have to watch to find
It's
out.
crazy because I was gonna go into this to talk about the that rug that was buried in that girl's yard.
What?
What? Dude,
Wait,
whoa,
wait,
yeah.
You
I
don't
feel like
even
you
know?
skipped. I feel like you skipped some
I
steps.
feel like the only person in this group who would have known what I was talking about would be you.
I've been a little unplugged here
It's
lately.
like a true
I
crime
don't
thing.
blame you, dude.
It's
I'm
been
getting there
busy.
more and more.
Okay, we've had a very.
I will
I'm
say,
trying
like,
to
but-
course correct my TikTok, but it doesn't
No,
work
like,
because I
I've
get
been-
sucked
This
in.
thing
Did y'all
over
look at the TikTok I sent last night?
No.
With the dude?
Yeah, no, that
And
guy's fast as
lightning
fuck.
fast hands, baby. Lightning fast hands. Woo! No, ain't no one got nothing on Ken Lee.
No,
okay?
he is crazy fast. No, like I don't honestly know what I've been like super busy doing. I don't know what. I guess like recording at home because like I haven't been watching TikTok. I have not been doing that much Instagram. I don't watch that much TV. I've been reading a little bit more, but it's like I don't know what I've been doing.
I think that's
honestly.
why I've been doing more
Like I
of
don't get on
those-
Twitter anymore.
I think that's why I've been doing more of those night streams because I used to waste so much time on Twitter and I uninstalled
Yeah.
Twitter and then I would log in on my web browser and that helped like I would still fall down the rabbit hole but not nearly as frequently.
Sure.
And then there was this weird thing where like it just I don't know I can log in on the desktop but every time I try to log in on the mobile website it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's Twitter's way of trying to force people to the app but I just refuse to re-download it. So like I just don't use Twitter anymore. And like TikTok, I'm still pretty bad about, but like I've tried to get better, and I found that like I feel way more fulfilled, even if I just stream and just chat with the people in
Yeah.
the chat and don't really do much, as opposed to like I'm like, well, I could scroll endlessly on TikTok for an hour and a half, 2 hours, or I could go stream, and I feel way more fulfilled at the end of the stream versus TikTok, where all of a sudden I look at my phone and I'm like, Jesus Christ, it's fucking midnight. All
Well, he also has me to
I
update him
wasted
on the daily
entire
news.
fucking yeah. And she's always like, "You hear about that fucking kid who died?
I have
Did you hear
never
about that
said
shooting?
that. I have-
Did you hear?
He
Did you hear
deserved
about
it.
that death? Did you hear about the fucking fireman who got blown up? It's
I
like,
need someone to talk to about this stuff.
I don't want to know. I want to
Hey,
go. I want to go back to the childhood bliss of not knowing about the
No,
horrible
no.
things
We're
that
not
happen
children
in the world.
I ain't gonna
anymore.
lie,
We're
it's
adults.
been-
That
it's
doesn't
been-
matter.
It's been low key kind of nice being like so unplugged that I don't know what's going on.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
Did it happen in the vicinity of where we live? Yes. Cool. No, I don't care.
Like here lately, I guess like I've been watching like a lot of videos on like those hurricanes and like
Yeah, like I'll pay
Yeah,
attention.
Oh, those
to
are
that.
hard to
and I'm
watch.
like, I guess that's like something I've been paying attention to and focusing more on is like I'm from Western North Carolina, and like a lot of places that I went to a lot growing up are just
Yeah, they're
gone.
decimated. Like
And
it's crazy.
so it's like my best friend growing up, like he's like making these like runs, like supply runs, like back and forth to there, and like the pictures and stuff. And it's like I've been talking to him, so it's been like a lot of like diving into like that. Like Chimney Rock is like somewhere we went a bunch when I was a kid, and it's like
It's gone.
The whole town is just not there anymore.
I saw the thing. It was the
all.
sand was like up to the roof,
Yeah, no, it's fucking nuts.
and it's like, bro, you ain't getting that shit out of there. Like, not for months.
yeah, but yeah, dude, I don't even know. Anyway, I want to hear what the rug from.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can make it
please.
quick too because it's not too long of a story. Took over TikTok. I mean, it was something where, and it was this mattered, and like, it happened in a matter of like 2 days. Like it was over just as quickly as it started. Where this girl was, her and her significant other bought a house back in November, and they decided that they wanted to put a fence around their backyard or something like that, and they were going to do it themselves. And they started digging, and they had to uproot this bloodgood tree. Which, if you guys don't know what that is, it's a very, 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 very expensive tree. It's like $1,000 of a tree to purchase and plant on your
I mean,
property.
probably just doing that around that tree then.
Well, no, they decided to completely uproot this tree.
Oh God, how dare they?
Well, as they started digging further down to get down enough to put the fence in, they got like stuck on this rug or the end of this rug. And immediately she was kind of like, why is there just a rug buried down here? Like, that's just kind of weird. Like, so
I would
far
assume
down.
an animal probably wrapped up in it.
So far
Yeah.
down underground. And so they kind of just stopped digging and left it for the night. Well, then things got a little weird. Where she had closed her computer room doors that night and left her laptop, or she had closed her laptop, closed the doors for the night, and they went to bed. They closed the doors so the dogs couldn't get in the computer room. Nothing could disturb the computer room. When she went in the next morning, she opened her laptop. The screen was like completely shattered. And she was like, what the fuck? So then she
What?
started like feeling all kind of weird, like spooky, like just spooked because she found this
Haunted
rug.
rug.
Like she felt like like it was a bad, like she uncovered some bad shit and like all this bad shit just all of a sudden started happening.
That'd be crazy.
So they decided that she was recording this all like live, like every time she updated, and it was immediate. Like there are millions and millions.
Ghost, I'd be cool with it.
And millions of views on these videos, like instantly. Like people were following this like crazy.
Yeah.
And so they go out and everyone's telling her, dig deeper, like get some people to dig.
Yeah.
And so she was like, I don't know, like we don't have very many people. And then she got a few friends and they started digging more and they found out, oh no, this is like a big ass rug. Like this is a huge rug. And so they were like, you should probably call like the local police department just so that they can check it out and make sure that it's not like a body being rolled in a rug.
Damn.
So they had the police come check it out. And the police actually ended up saying, we need to bring cadaver dogs. Like, we don't have a good feeling about this. Because, first of all, under $1,000 tree that you just assume no one's going to dig up.
Yeah.
This big-ass rug
It's like there's a
way
reason. They
deep
picked
down.
that tree for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, super deep down in the ground. Like, this big-ass rug. So they came and they brought cadaver dogs. And she was showing us this in real time. One of the dogs sat down on the hole. Which means
There's something there. There's a dead body there.
So then they bring a second dog. Dog also sits on the hole.
Hell yeah.
And everyone's like, oh my God. Like this girl immediately, like I think it clicked in that moment of what might actually be happening. And
It's
she
like, oh,
just
there's
like
a body in my backyard.
just sent her
Like,
into this like panic attack. Like she had to end her life. She was just like flipping out. She's got like kids, you know, and the people who owned the house before her, they like had talked to their daughter. This couple that used to live there is like in their 90s in like a nursing home. And this girl was just like, no, like we
They
never
committed
had
that
any
murder back when they were young.
Well, they were like, no, we never had any pets that we had to bury. Like, we never buried any pets back there. Like, I don't
never
know.
buried any
So then-
pets.
Any pets? Yeah.
So then they had to bring like an excavator. They had to bring in like all these things to dig this rug out of the yard. They had crime scene investigators. They had FBI. They had all these people showing up. And they dug it up and there was nothing in it.
What?
There was nothing in it. And a lot of people said that they noticed
so angry
on the live that the dogs were really interested in the porch. And a lot of people were like, they need to dig under the porch. Like they think, it could be like, there's been a couple cases where you dig something on top of another thing to like think that was the thing that was there. But a lot of people are not like satisfied with that ending because
Who would
Yeah,
be?
no, I mean some weird shit going on. Why is this rug here? And then like my
the
thing
cadaver dogs
my
is
thing
like
is
a big
the
thing.
rug would be one thing, right? If the dogs didn't respond and it was literally just a rug, it would be like fucking weird, but okay. But like the fact that both dogs responded and there's a random rug, I'd be like, nah, something.
So
what if what
this-
was
this
Did
is
they
a
show the
ruse.
rug being excavated and it showed it being emptied?
I don't think she released a video of them showing
Then,
the empty
okay,
rug, but they took the rug in for evidence.
Well, the thing is, if there's an active investigation going on, they're not going to leak that to the public in the first place.
Yeah,
Right.
it might
Right.
take
Well, they're not even gonna
They
tell
will
her
literally
that.
tell you like, and if she's not showing proof, there's a reason why.
Well, she
Yeah.
she straight up. They're not going to give her any information from this point on.
Well,
They took the
that's
rug
the thing.
in.
Like,
Yeah.
and that's why they're like, there was no body because they're not going to say there was a body because
Right.
then they don't want whoever was
Well, the
now
other
with all
thing
the attention that's
is-
on it.
Yeah, now
they
they're
don't
gonna
want someone
flee.
running.
There
Especially
might
some of
be
millions of views.
something on the rug that they could take
Dude,
in.
Yeah,
to
What-
use.
Yeah,
it's an
true.
active investigation.
What if-
That's why.
True, they were killed in the rug.
What if
and the
what
rug
was
has
put
blood
in
or
the rug
something?
got out of the rug and is just now wandering the property?
Well, people
I mean,
are
what's
doing
wrong
like
with
a
this
bunch
next
of
victim?
you know people on the internet when people just love to be sleuths and just figure all this shit out on their own. And people have done like research on missing people in the area. And I
Yeah.
guess there was a case where there was a kid that went missing and his family there was like
Rock
a
salesman.
chunk of carpet that had been taken out of the house and they said that it was for like home renovations. And then like shortly after their kid had gone missing or something like that. But they never investigated further. And that was like back in the late
Dude,
1800s, early 1900s.
Solving or like committing crimes, like even like 30 years ago, had to be so dope and so fucking
Oh, you
easy.
get away with
No, it
so much
was.
back
Yeah.
then.
So it's
So
like people
easy.
always talk about like, oh, it was so much safer back in the 70s. We used to fucking hitchhike all the time. It's like, yeah, at the peak of the serial killer era, Like
Yeah.
it's like what? It's like no. It's like crime was worse
Bro,
back then.
Imagine like even before then, where it's like you could just like literally commit a bunch of crimes and go to like different towns, and it's like,
Change your name.
Are you Doug Johnson? It's like, no, I'm John Dougson.
Yeah.
like
And that was it.
I don't
Yeah.
know who you're talking about, and,
Yeah, no,
and they can't prove otherwise. Like,
But what's crazy is like what blows my mind is when they find the killer or like they solve cases now for shit that happened 50 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
60 years ago. It's like fucking crazy.
Forensics has gotten crazy. Well, that's like a part of me was hoping there was a body in that rug just for the sake of, which sounds crazy to say, but I'm always one of those people that like, if it solves a cold case,
yeah.
like that would have just been like
Well,
closure to a
would, it would
family.
give closure to somebody who was looking for that
Yeah.
body, right?
Like I'm glad that no one was dead in that rug, but there is still so many missing
something
people out
was
there.
At one point or another was in that
The
rug.
problem is that is the correct take to have in the sense of like wanting closure for someone else who is
Yeah.
needing closure. Whereas like I know a lot of those people were in the comment section like, I need a body.
Yeah.
To be satisfied, I need there to be a dead person in that
Like
room
I don't want, I never obviously want anyone to be murdered, but
for my entertainment.
I just having unsolved cases be solved and the family, like I could not imagine losing someone I love and just never finding them
I feel like
or
that's got to be
figuring
the
out
worst,
why.
right? Is like
For
never
your whole
knowing.
life,
Yeah.
like just
The
wondering.
fact that you didn't get to experience unsolved mysteries in the
I
90s
know.
is a crime, bro.
It's
you
not the
would've-
same. I feel like right now
you would have loved that. I was like 5 and I was addicted to unsolved
my family
mysteries.
never showed me anything like that.
I think that's why it's shocking now is because when there is an unsolved murder, it's like fucking how?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like how? With all the tech they have at this point, like God
No,
damn,
there's something like
you were good.
like the amount of murders still unsolved even today is like high.
Yeah.
It's like what 40 some percent.
But compared
or
to then,
something.
right?
Yeah.
Like the mob was just going around
Yeah.
fucking
Oh, yeah,
blasting
bro.
people in the fucking street.
Yeah.
Like it just didn't matter. There was no way to like find out it was them.
We need to show you the Untouchables.
The Untouchables? Sure.
Well, it's also just crazy. Like
Good pizza.
even
Really good
you
pizza.
have your true crime podcast. It's crazy how many cases have been solved because of those podcasts and people like doing their own investigative work, like
Yeah.
outside of the police department. Because once they close a case, it's like
Oh, you take like one
Because-
autistic person and like time and like,
Yeah.
bro, the sky's the limit.
Well, because it all depends, right? Like with the police stations, like it all depends on is there a person at that station that is in a high enough point of power that they care enough to solve the actual case. If the answer is no, all they have to do is blame some random person,
Yeah.
say they don't know, fucking who knows, and just move on.
So
right? Like,
my I hate to say favorite, but like true crime favorites are like when people just disappear. Like there's no body, there's
Yeah,
no like
it's just like, where'd
there's
they
no
go?
like scene of the
Yeah.
crime. They're just
it's
gone.
like they're like
It's
no
just
forced
like-
entry, no blood, no sign of a struggle,
like
no
it
nothing.
just like food, dinner on the table. You know
that shit just like
Alien abductions, bro.
Yeah, no,
Alien
like that shit
abductions.
fascinates me in a crazy way because it's like one of those things too, and I don't know if this is like TikTok facts or if it's actual facts, where it's like there's like if you overlay like missing persons and like where like national parks are, it's almost like a 1-to-1 diagram. Like they overlap.
Oh, that shit is
perfectly almost.
nuts.
Yeah, and so it's like one of those things to where it's like is,
Like all
is
the
there something
caves
in
and
the
shit?
woods?
Well, it's like all those caves and shit
Yeah,
like that. Like just
and-
like tunnels and all that stuff. It's
Well, because you
just-
also think it's like the perfect area, right? It's,
Yeah.
Where is their lack of cell service? The
Yeah,
woods.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Well, that's like being from the Appalachians or from the Bay. Like I'm from an area that's called like the Piedmont or the foothills, which is the base of the Appalachian Mountains. And like it's like growing up, you hear of like the
skinwalkers.
the skinwalkers, moon people.
Wait, hold on. Moon people? I've never heard of this.
Yeah, like look it up. Like
Moon
I know we're getting shorter on
every
time.
time someone
just
like,
Appalachian
posts
moon people.
a video of
do you
they
spell
live
that?
out there
APPALAC. Yeah, there you go.
and they post a video of like outside at night, it like gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Small
A
man.
race of small men. Okay.
Yeah.
They're just bearded
Being-
and pale. They're just like,
Perfectly white
Yeah.
skin.
what the fuck?
Oh yeah.
So like little alien looking
Yeah.
fuckers.
Yeah.
That's wild. Dude, I would love to like fall down a rabbit hole where we just like watch some like weird fucking documentaries on some shit. I don't know if people would watch them.
No, I'm 100% down. But no, like, you know, so like there's like all that and like hillbillies, witches and all that stuff. So it's like I think like I've always had this fascination of like disappearances and untouched land and all that, because I grew up in that kind of stuff, right? Like that was in its own weird way,
Oh my God,
like
look at that art.
a threat to us, because it's like, yeah, that I feel like I've seen that one a good bit.
Wow.
Because yeah, I mean that's just where I'm from, right? Like
The legend of the moon people.
like
sick.
like Chimney Rock and Boone and like the places that did get hit hard by Helene. You know, that's where like all this stuff supposedly takes place, and it's like the idea that like, because I mean like my uncle and cousins and stuff, like they've like biked the Appalachian trails, and hiked them and stuff
so
like that,
scary.
and it's
I
like the
would
stories you
never.
hear coming from that, like, because it is just a fuckload of untouched, unearthed land that you don't know what's out there.
Oh, yeah.
The woods
Mostly
are so
meth houses.
scary.
Dude, no, everybody was so paranoid for a while because my aunt and her ex-husband, like, they bought a house out in Connecticut, and like they're very close to the Appalachian Trail, and they just made a hostel like in their house.
Oh wow, okay.
Because like her and her, you know, her ex-husband, like that's what they did. Like they would go out and hike, and he had
It was their way of
fucking-
kind of paying it
he
forward.
would do the thing where he would get the house covered in skeleton animals, like tiny birds, tiny animals, big animals. Like he would take it, boil the skin, take the fucking,
Oh, wow.
you know, the bones, like put them all together
Yeah.
and like recreate
Wow.
them.
No,
And it was, like-
my ex was into some shit like that
and
too.
and it was like he was just like crazy about it, and they used to just go hiking all the time, and like, dude, it was always like everybody was always paranoid. They're like, you guys are gonna get killed one day.
yeah,
Like,
right.
What'd
it's like
you
you're
find over there?
You're over there inviting these stranger ass people into your house.
Oh yeah,
like,
I mean, I forget where it was, but it was like on the Appalachian Trail where, you know, they would tell stories of like they'd kind of like, because like if you're going the same way and you're kind of going like the same speed, like you could be with these people for hours at a time.
oh yeah,
Right,
yeah.
like until you like go to rest or they rest, and you finally create that distance where you're separated now, and like, and they were like, yeah, there was just like this one particular dude. It's like we just couldn't shake this guy, like you know, and it's like the longer you go, the weirder it gets, right? Because like people's like mask can only stay on so long before it really starts to slip, especially
Yeah.
like as the day goes on, they get more tired. It's tougher to keep up like any sort of like kind of
Facade,
appearance
yeah.
that they're not crazy.
Yeah, I can see that.
And so like, yeah, it was like, you know, there's like stories like that. So the fact they actually had like a hostel around those areas
Yeah.
is kind of
Like, just there.
Cool. Like
I
I
just-
said, cool. They're paying it forward since they're into it,
no,
right?
like straight up, like
give
like
people
my
somewhere safe
aunt,
to
my
be.
aunt would literally get in her Jeep, and then she would go pick them up.
Oh,
drive
wow.
drive them up
That's
to the
wild.
fucking hostel, make them breakfast in the morning.
No,
like
that's brave.
I don't
Yeah.
have trust like that. I don't have
No.
trust like that. My dad has picked up like
like
hitchhikers
they had
out
trail
in the
names.
woods.
Like they were that level of hikers.
Oh, okay.
Like they had like those fucking names that like their code names.
That's
that
crazy.
Like, that like
actually.
trail people use. I guess I don't
Yeah.
fucking know.
I could never do anything like
No.
that. I couldn't
Like,
even
no.
pick up like a hitchhiker. I don't trust anybody.
I think that's
What
what,
you
they're
thinking,
called.
bud? I
I'm
can,
just-
I can feel you vibing.
I've seen those before. At
He's thinking
some-
again.
he was
at some
like
disc golf
really
courses.
intently looking
So
at
I was
some
like
images.
trying to remember. I'm like, it's like I think I've seen them up in Michigan, like near the stone stacking areas, like because I was like looking at that, I was like, oh, like that's
That
cool. Like,
seems
they
fr-
have like little statues like that. I never knew realized that was for moon people. And like all the time I've been out disc golfing, like I've
What
never
the
like, wow, that's weird.
I love how these creepy pictures are always like taken on like a fucking 1999
Well, it's
Nokia
like-
phone.
I mean, so forgive me of my ignorance of Indiana, but like, you know, you disc golfing there, and you said you guys would like do like midnight golf.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I mean, was it like kind of terrainy, rocky there, or is it more
no,
flat?
it was so
I mean, like, did weird shit feel like it was going on around you while you guys were doing that
there,
stuff?
so there was one time
Because I'm
where
assuming it's still forest,
there was one. So basically,
Oh
it's
my
a lot
God.
more hills and dunes.
right?
Right, so like the closer you get to Michigan, the more you're going to have sand mixed
This
in,
guy's
the more you're
wild.
going to kind of have duney kind of stuff.
yeah.
Where like a lot of like the disc golf
Look up
courses there are like
staircase.
you're going up hills,
Appalachian
and then you
Mountain
throw down a
staircase.
hill, or you have to throw like up like I don't know a 250-foot incline.
Mm-hmm.
You just throw up like up at forests and stuff.
This is a thing.
But
Yeah.
like
no,
even,
the random staircases in the woods.
Like
that's a thing.
Yeah,
that I've heard a lot about.
Random
Yeah,
staircases. Yep, those are cool.
No, I mean like where I'm from, you
No,
would-
like the random ones that are just like in the middle of nowhere.
No, like in where I'm from, like you would like go into the woods and there would just be houses there.
Yeah.
Like
But like park rangers and stuff like that said that they don't fuck with those.
no, you don't.
They're like they just
you,
ignore their existence. They don't fucking touch them.
Well, you ignore them. You see a deer blind, you don't go near it. You
deer
don't
what?
a deer blind.
What's that?
Where people like will set up, and a lot of times it's illegal. But it's where like you literally hide and wait for the deer to come by to shoot them.
Oh, okay.
But
Tree
they-
stands, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You don't
Park
fuck with
rangers
any
are
of that
super
stuff.
like
mess with
I don't know if the word is superstitious, but like any legends about the Appalachian Mountains, what they don't know won't hurt them. They just ignore
No, I
all
mean,
the shit
and not to interrupt you, sorry, like, but it's like one of those things to where, like, to me, I've never been superstitious about that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't fuck with that because, like, you don't know if that's a crazy person's land.
Yep.
Like, I'm more afraid of a hillbilly with a shotgun than I am of a ghost.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
That's true though.
like a ghost I feel like I can run away from. A dude with a gun, less likely.
Yeah.
Especially if they're a good shot and they live around there and they know the
that looks
terrain.
haunted as fuck.
It
Yeah.
totally does. Yeah.
That literally looks like it's like stained with blood.
It does give off those vibes. It really does, though.
I don't trust shit in the woods.
That's the thing. I love the woods.
Yeah,
I love nature.
Yeah, same. Like I don't understand. Like you guys see this in the woods, you're like, oh no, I'm not gonna go. I'm like, that's a really cool looking house.
Yeah. I would fuck
No,
with
but
that.
again, going back to Sean's, like I like the woods. I don't trust the people in the woods.
No, I feel you, but like
Or
it's,
whatever else
It's
is
one
in
of
the
those
woods.
like I mean, but it's kind of like your aunt and uncle, right? Like
Yeah.
it's you know they mean to do well.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
And I'm
they
sure,
do mean
I mean,
well.
the vast majority of the people that are out there, I'm sure, are all good
But that's
people,
like what
right?
she was talking about with the stairs. Like you just don't fuck with that stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like you see something that ain't yours, it ain't yours. Like don't touch it.
Yeah.
Well,
you know?
think about how many people who went off the grid to live in the woods because they did some bad shit. I'm
Yeah,
like,
that too.
all right.
Yeah, I mean shit like that too. I mean that's like even where I grew up, it was like this. It was like an oval like road neighborhood thing with like cul-de-sacs and stuff like that in it. And I had like a cow pasture like right beside there because we were like the last house on the left. Also a horror movie.
Hit.
But then like on the back side of the neighborhood was just like woods and like stretched miles of woods. And like we would just go back there and like look and try to like we would try to find shit, right? And like yeah, we found old shacks. We found
Yeah.
like dilapidated houses and all this stuff. And it's like one of those to where it's like you don't go in. Like you
No.
you look around, you look through windows, but you don't go in because like even then like we understood like squatters for the most part, like crazy people, and it's like
Bro, we found an abandoned house when I was younger. We were going in that bitch.
yeah,
Such bad idea, but
no, yeah.
anytime we found one, we were going in.
I explored an abandoned missile silo one time.
You know what? That doesn't surprise me.
Okay, no, like, what, did you find anything cool?
So I was. I
need to know now.
This was during my era of ghost hunting
Your
with my
urbex?
friends.
Yeah.
And so we went ghost hunting, and there was two places that we explored in specifics. That one was definitely haunted. The missile silo was just kind of us just been like, oh, this is awesome. Like this is out in the middle it was out in the middle of nowhere.
That's crazy that was just there for y'all to walk in.
It was wild. Like you had to go through all like the fencing and shit where it's like don't go past
don't
the
go
fence.
Oh, the
blah,
ones
blah,
that say
blah.
no trespass.
Yeah,
You're not the boss
course.
of
I
these
mean,
signs.
yeah, 100%. I'm going to an area I should not have been in, and like, and you could see like the building had like halfway collapsed in on itself, and it was like all
Awesome.
stone and shit. So we're like, yeah, let's do it. You know?
It's like radiated. Everybody else is like, anybody else's balls feel hot right now?
Oh yeah. So like, yeah, we kind of went down and we explored it, and like, you could only go so far because everything else had collapsed underground.
Oh wow!
But it's like you could see like the silo of where everything was. You're like, why is this
crazy.
even Indiana? Like why is this here? And then
You
another
guys
place.
found a broken arrow, just like a random U.S. nuke in the middle of Indiana.
Bro, it was wild. Like, believe me, as a kid, you're like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
We thought it was haunted.
Banging on the
it
tip with
wasn't.
a hammer.
But we did end up actually going to a place where they were testing, I think it was like the 40s or 50s. They were testing the effects of putting someone in hot and cold water, like on mentally ill people back then. They were like doing these kinds of tests.
That
and, like,
sounds nice.
It was wild because they literally had the bathtub still there.
Oh,
so
yeah.
like
Oh,
the whole
no.
building, like the
That's
whole
creepy.
like the whole roof was like all ripped off because they were literally like a week away from demolishing it.
Yeah.
And like you could go in there, and then they had like it wasn't a padded room, but it was literally a door that was like this thick of just steel. And all it had was a slider at the top and a little meal tray thing at the bottom. And of course, me
my
being
God.
me, teenage me, I was like, well, let's go in and see if we can talk to anything over there.
Oh, hell
my
yeah.
God.
No, I'd do that now
so
for
we
sure.
went in, we closed the door.
I want to find like evidence, bro.
We closed the door, and like it was me and like two girls and like one of my friends, and we were kind of just like sitting there quiet
In the
and,
pitch
like-
dark.
Yeah, in pitch dark.
Yeah, fuck
kinda just
that.
sitting there. And then all of a sudden we got this like really strong smell of like used bandages, like
Ew.
gauze, like used
Like
gauze.
blood?
No, not blood, but you know how like when you have a weeping wound and you have to have gauze on it, and you're like it has that smell.
Yeah.
It was that. It was that, and I knew that specific because
disgusting.
like I took care of my dad, so like I knew what that smell was.
Right.
Everyone else didn't really know what it was.
It's like antiseptic and
I don't like this.
Yeah, it wasn't good. And then all of a sudden we heard like footsteps outside, like heavy
Oh,
footsteps
fuck that.
walking like past the door.
Bruce.
And all of a sudden like you just see a shadow like kind of sit in front of the door for a second, and we're all kind of just like
hell yeah.
quiet as fuck, like,
We
like
about
not
to
knowing
die.
what to do, not knowing what to do. And then all of a sudden, you just like heard it like walk away, and like so we kind of sat there like mind you it was cold too, so we're sitting there like kind of
Like,
like
when the fuck do we leave?
you know, how do I get off this ride? How do I
How do I
leave?
get off of this ride?
We opened the door. Nothing was there, but you could see like some footsteps in the sand, like on the ground. And it was like, yep, nope, I had my
Yeah.
experience. This is
I'm
enough.
out.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ghostman. Have a nice day. Goodbye.
No, there was a couple of times where we would like swim in, like there was a creek in the woods that I was talking about, and it was like, you know, several hundred yards from one of those houses that I mentioned, and like we would like leave towels and stuff there, and like we would come back and like that shit would be moved.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Dude.
like somebody was like getting it, and then like I guess maybe they heard us coming back and would like drop it.
Honestly, you know what? This would be fun. Billy, let us know your ghost stories, your
Yes.
abandoned building
Yeah.
stories, and maybe we'll read them
So-
next
so,
episode. If we
to-
get enough submissions, and in the comments and stuff, we'll read them and then we'll do it next
So
episode.
to publicly
That'd
put
be
pressure
great,
on y'all,
actually.
yeah,
though,
right? Like,
'cause
what?
great.
Tell us some crazy ass stories you've had.
I believe it was when I was reacting to Don to Don, and
Is it Don? I've been calling it Dan Dan Dan.
no, it's Don to Don.
Okay.
For sure.
I've been calling it Dan to Dan too.
No, I mean I've called it that a couple of times. It's
more fun that way.
Like it's just fun to say. But I think, have you ever seen Grave Encounters? You specifically.
Probably in the past, but I can't.
People
tell
want
what it's
you to
about.
react to Grave Encounters with us, if I can get them to do it as well.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't know what it is, but sure.
But just, I know we need to wrap up. But you were talking about how all that shit was still there with like abandoned hospitals and shit like that. They leave behind like
Everything,
vials
dude.
of blood, patient
Oh,
files,
yeah.
all the equipment, everything.
Which is crazy because it
how
seems
we
like that
knew
should be
it
a
was-
law.
Well, that's how we knew what it was.
Yeah.
Because at first, like you walk in and it literally was like this. It literally looked like an old hospital room, and it was a single level ranch style building.
Yeah.
And we're like, we didn't really know what was going on. We're like,
Right.
oh, I guess they're just keeping patients in here. And right in the center of the room, they had 2 bathtubs.
that would be so fucking creepy.
Like
That's
not like
crazy.
old bathtubs at your house, but like really nice, like thick porcelain with the legs and everything. And we're like, what the fuck's happening? And then we started researching it while like bringing it up on your phone. You're like, they were testing people. They were literally like fucking with the mentally ill people to figure all this shit out and the effects that it would do to them. And I'm like, holy fuck! Like we didn't realize how
Dude, no,
how dangerous a situation we actually put ourselves
Yeah.
in.
Oh, yeah.
right?
Well, it's like you go back now, and it's like people even say they're like, "Oh, everybody's autistic now, and everybody's this now," and it's like, yeah, because they would fucking experiment on you back then. You think anybody
Yeah.
was fucking trying to find out if they were autistic back in the
the
50s?
shit that they would do to those
Like,
people
no.
in
I
those
know.
places just to in the guise of research, and
Yeah.
it's like electrotherapy
Well, they did like lobotomies and,
and doing
shit.
all
too.
yeah, lobotomies and all that shit. And it's like, bro,
Oh no,
like,
I listened to a podcast.
Oh my
What was it? Like
gosh.
the Japanese, units was like 731.
Oh my
or something.
God,
like those,
yes, dude.
That shit is nuts,
Bro, the human experiments that they did
Yeah.
and all that shit. Oh, dude.
I won't
That
say
was
what
I
they
feel,
did.
like I feel like we need to just carry this over
I
to the
know,
next
right?
podcast.
Yeah, we can. Yeah. All right, be the joy.
Bye, Billy. Subscribe for more. Get next week's episode right now.
Yeah.
because we
Yep.
give it to
We totally
Patreon.
forgot to plug it again.
Patreon. Again,
Patreon.com
we forgot to mention it. That's
/sorta
Eric's job, not ours.
stupid.
Okay, bye.
Well, I think we put ads in this now. I don't know. We should
I
don't
don't
a new
know if we
one.
do. We
We'll
might.
figure it out.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, Billy.